2 focused hours every morning may look small, but repeated long enough, they become a new life. Then he broke it down. 2 hours a day, 14 hours a week. Over 60 hours a month, hundreds of hours in a year. Do you understand? He asked. That is time most people throw away. But if you capture it, you create a future others cannot explain. Daniel sat there in silence. For the first time in years, his future did not feel like a wall. It felt like a door. The next morning, the alarm rang at 5 o'clock. Daniel hated it. Every part of his body begged for mercy. His muscles ached. His eyes burned. His mind whispered, "Sleep, just today. Start tomorrow." But he remembered his mother's voice. He remembered that quiet dawn outside the clinic, and he got up. The first week felt brutal. He was clumsy, irritable, and foggy. He sat at a small table with a second-hand phone and began learning spreadsheet skills, bookkeeping basics, and business software through free online lessons. At first, almost nothing made sense. The numbers blurred together. The formulas confused him. Some mornings, he wanted to throw the phone away and crawl back into bed. But he stayed. At 6 o'clock a.m., he forced himself outside. He walked, then stretched, then jogged slowly. After that, he spent a little time writing what he had learned and planning his day. It was not glamorous. It was not inspiring. It was hard, lonely, repetitive work. And that is exactly why it changed him. Because while other people were sleeping through possibility, Daniel was training himself to become someone else. Around the 3rd week, something unexpected happened. The alarm rang, and Daniel was already awake. His body had begun to adapt. His mind was clearer. The morning no longer felt like punishment. It felt like power. He began understanding what he was studying. The lessons that once seemed impossible started connecting. He completed one online certificate, then another. He became faster with numbers, better with spreadsheets, more confident handling information. And the changes were not only mental. He lost weight. His posture improved. His eyes became sharper. He started carrying himself like a man who was going somewhere. Even at work, people noticed. "You look different," one coworker told him. Daniel smiled and replied, "I am." He no longer dragged himself through life the same way. Because deep inside, he knew something the old version of him did not know. Small daily discipline can quietly build massive change. By the 3rd month, Daniel stopped learning only in theory. He began using his new skill. One afternoon, while reviewing the messy paper logs at the warehouse, he created a simple digital inventory system on his own. Nothing fancy. Just organized, clear, useful. When he showed it to his supervisor, the man was stunned. "Who made this?" "I did," Daniel answered. "How?" Daniel's response was simple. "I built it before sunrise." The file reached the operations manager. Then it reached the owner. A few days later, Daniel was called into the office. He walked in expecting a question. Instead, he received an offer. The company was opening a junior records and accounts role. They needed someone who understood the warehouse and had developed practical administrative skills. The salary was nearly double what he had been earning. The position was during the day, and it was his. If he wanted it. For a moment, Daniel could not speak. 90 days earlier, he had been a man sinking inside a night shift and a hopeless routine. Now a door had opened. Not because the world suddenly became kind, but because he had become ready. A year later, Daniel's life looked completely different. He had moved his mother closer to town so she could receive proper care. He lived in a decent apartment. He was no longer barely surviving. But the most important change was not in his room, his job title, or his bank account. It was in him. He had become disciplined, focused, intentional, and every morning he still woke up early. Not because he was desperate anymore, but because he had discovered something most people never truly understand. Success is not an event. It is a rhythm. The early morning had become sacred to him. That was where he learned, where he planned, where he grew, where he protected the future he had fought to build. So hear this carefully. Your life may not change overnight, but it can start changing in one morning. One disciplined morning, repeated again and again, can pull you out of confusion, weakness, and stagnation. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is often hidden inside the hours you are currently wasting. Not everybody needs to wake at 5 a.m., but everybody needs protected time to build the person they keep hoping to become. Because hope without structure fades. Dreams without discipline die. And talent without consistency gets buried. If you want another life, you must create another pattern. So tonight, ask yourself, what am I doing with the hours that could change everything? And tomorrow morning, when the alarm speaks, who will answer? If this story stirred something in you, let it become action. Like this video, subscribe, and write in the comments. What will you build with your first 2 focused hours? Because your future is not waiting somewhere far away, it is being built one morning at a time.